what is this? And why is it so freaking good? What's up, party people, and welcome back to my channel. So I am super excited for today's video. This is something I've never done before, and that is testing a full face of makeup from the Dollar Tree, meaning everything is $1.25. And my entire channel is focused on drugstore and affordable beauty. So if you're new here, then welcome. I hope you have found your place. On this old channel, we talk pretty exclusively about cheap drugstore and affordable makeup and how you can look beautiful for less. So yeah, I have a ton of new stuff to try out. We're gonna do a wear test. Whoa, it is all in boxes, so we gotta open up a lot of stuff. I'm gonna start with this 6-color eyeshadow palette from LA Colors. This is the shade Not Out. So it looks like it has 3 mattes and 3 shimmers. So there's what 5 of the 6 look like. So I mean, I'm pretty surprised by how soft they feel. It definitely does not look like $1.25 of a palette. That looks pretty dang good. And then this last shade I couldn't get on my hand, so let's put it right there. So very warm, very orange undertone. So as per usual, I'm gonna try to use as much as possible because whenever I'm testing out stuff, I really want to give a very well-rounded review. Like I don't want to test out like 1 or 2 shades and be like, oh, it's a good palette. So I'm gonna start off with this shade right here at the very bottom. It is kind of dusty. Let's just use this in my crease as my transition shade. And I'm also not going to set my eye primer down. Ooh. Well, hot dog, that's extremely pigmented. It's going on like freaking butter. I'm going to the shade right next to it, which honestly looks to be about the same color. With each shade, I'm just gonna drop it lower and put it more in the outer V / the lower crease. But I think that one, that's almost the same color as the other one, so that one's pretty pointless. Okay, going right over to the peachy shade over here. This is really, really pretty. But yeah, once again, putting that right on top in the lower crease. I think the colors are too similar. It's definitely not the shadow itself. I think it's just that the other shades are just a little bit more, they're more poppy than this one, but I mean, it is showing up. Now let's do the shimmery, rosy bronze tone right there. I'm just gonna start packing this onto my eyelid. So that one's not showing up too much. I think it might be better with my fingers. So let's do that. And in just a second, I'm gonna show you guys a little trick, which I'm sure most of you already know by now, but in case you don't, I'm gonna show you a trick to make your shimmer look a lot more like wet, but also very creamy. There's what everything looks like so far. I do have a little bit of fallout, but this is why I do my eyes first, and everything just looks very seamless. Last but not least, I'm gonna go into this light pinky coral kind of shade right here. And I'm just gonna take that on my pinky and I'll put that in my inner corner. Yeah, in this case, I think that the mattes are actually better than the shimmers. So now for the tricks. I'm gonna go into a setting spray. You can use any setting spray. So I'm just gonna spray some, just 1 spray on the back of my hand. Get a finger and dab it into the spray and then tap off some excess on the back of my hand where I don't have any spray on it. And just pat this over top of the shimmer area. And just do this until you get the amount of like sheen that you want. It just looks more seamless, more smooth, more finely milled, and just, I don't know, just very like cream looking. Like it looks like a cream shadow. Yeah, not too shabby. Now let's do some eyeliner. So I got this LA Colors eye marker. It's a felt tip eyeliner. I got the shade brown. Yeah, it's a felt tip. It's not a brush tip. Let's swatch it right here. So, ooh, it kind of looks like an eyebrow color. Like it doesn't really look like an eyeliner, but it's kind of like a warm shade. So I mean, I'm sure it'll look fine with this, but it's typically, I like more of a neutral brown, like a dark neutral brown. I will say it doesn't look too warm once it's on my eye. Like that looks like a typical dark brown eyeliner. And it's gliding on really well. Like I'm barely touching the wand, not the wand. I'm barely touching the felt tip to my eye, and product is coming off really easily without any tugging or anything. Okay, this is the part I hate with felt tips, the wing. Okay, we did it. Okay, so there's the eyeliner. I feel like I am going in different directions with the wing. You know what? Like Hannah Montana said, nobody's perfect. The eyeliner is kind of wet starting out, which makes you feel like, oh, is it going to transfer? Is it going to slide around? But this side's already drying. I'm not sure if it's going to dry matte, but it's definitely not as wet now as it was when I first, when I was applying it. So yeah, I'm going to wait a second before I move on and, start blinking and, doing all kinds of weird stuff. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do my eyebrows while we're waiting, because, I mean, why not? Why not? Why not? Take a crazy chance. So this is the LA Colors. I guess everything is LA Colors today. Brow pencil. It's just called a brow pencil. I got the shade Soft Brown. So you got spoolie on one side, and yeah, let's see. Let's swatch it. Okay, it feels kind of dry, but I think I can make it work. Like, oh, it's very dry. So yeah, I am kind of having a hard time pulling this through. It is very, very dry. It does lack a lot of pigmentation. It's not very creamy, but I mean, it can do the job. You just kind of have to spend some more time doing it. Okay, I got this retractable black eyeliner and I forgot about it. So I kind of want to go on top and just see if I can make it look smokier and smooth. So this is the LA Colors Auto Eyeliner in the shade black. It says smudge proof. I don't know, felt tip and me, we don't jive. Will say though, that felt tip liner swatch is not wanting to come off. So isn't that so weird that the cheapest products are usually the most long wearing? It's kind of like a light black. Definitely a little bit of dryness. It's not the most pigmented, but I feel like this is one that if you built it up, it can be really dark. So let's top this off. Honestly, my felt tip liner looks like black. Like it doesn't look like brown at all. Okay, so I do feel a little bit of tug and dryness with the black liner, but you know what? That on top of that brown, that is jet black. Let me see if I can smudge it out a little bit. Just like a more smoky line. Like I hate a sharp, blunt eyeliner. Like I just think it looks so outdated. So let's see if I can do anything with it. It looks better than it did before. I mean, I'll take it. Moving on to mascara, I have this LA Colors Volume Mascara. So it has an hourglass shaped brush like that. So let's see. We're a little dry. We're a little dry so far. All right, so there's the first layer. So it does have like that fluffy, full kind of look. Like it's definitely more of a thickening formula versus volumizing and lengthening. So let's see if we can get more with the second layer. We'll say though, I'm just not picking up a lot of product on my brush. Okay, so there is the second coat. So, I mean, it's definitely building. It's taking a lot to build it. It's very black though, okay? It's a very black formula, surprisingly. Let's see what 3 coats do. You know what? The end result really isn't that bad. Do I want to apply 3 layers for it to work? No. I do have other mascaras that are better, obviously, but you know, just to show you that you can make cheap stuff work, I mean, it does, it works. However, it's very small and I don't think that 3 coats each time using it is gonna make it last very long. You know what I'm gonna try? I'm gonna put some of my contact solution in here. This is an old trick that you can use to, you know, re-wet your formulas that are kind of drying out and just to kind of prolong you into the next purchase. So let's do one. Oh, that was a lot more than I thought. 15 drops apparently. Shake it up a little bit. Let's see if we can add on some more. Ooh, I think that did the trick. I mean, clearly it probably would have worked better if the first layer hadn't had 20 minutes to dry, but I think that putting some contact solution in there is making it work better. Now for foundation. Okay, this is what I'm kind of nervous about because, oh, why did I get this shade? This is the Essentially Ageless Hydrating Serum Foundation. Got the shade Medium Deep because that was the only shade apparently. You know what? If we have to mix it with a white foundation mixer, we will do so. Formulated for mature skin. I don't care, I'll take it. Infused with serums, natural oils, and vitamins. It provides long-lasting hydration. It's infused with vitamin B3, hydrating serum, hyaluronic acid, and niacinamide to keep your skin feeling hydrated and silky. And it doesn't really have a whole lot of ingredients. It's got glycerin at the top, kaolin, so that would be good for oil absorption. I'm gonna go into my handy dandy LA Girl HD Pro Coverage Foundation in the shade white. You know what? This would be a really pretty cream bronzer shade actually. So yeah, mix the white in there and ooh, scuba-doo-doo-doo. Okay, I think I can make that work. So I actually want to see how it looks whenever I apply it with my hands first. You know, everyone talks about how your fingers are the best tools. Maybe your fingers, but mine are like slimy as hell. I just have little DNA prints all over my face when I use my fingers. Okay, I gotta say, this is looking surprisingly good right now. Very glowy and just like, this does not look like it's a freaking $1.25. Sitting really, really beautifully on my pores. The glow is phenomenally beautiful. I mean, it may wear like absolute trash, I don't know, but the way it looks right now, this looks better than most foundations I've tried that are like 15 times more expensive. I really, really hope this wears well. It is covered almost everything. I mean, I can see my blemishes a little bit peeking through right here, but I also didn't like cake it on right there. Like I didn't really apply a heavy amount back there. Yeah, to be continued. So for concealer, I have a couple different ones and we may try both on each eye. Like we'll just see which one's better. So I have the Essentially Ageless Hydrating Serum Concealer. So it's like a sister to the foundation, and the Hydrating Under Eye Concealer with hyaluronic acid. One comes in a wand, one comes in a tube. Let's start with the Essentially Ageless one. So this one also has hyaluronic acid. It says it's paraben and phthalate free. It's infused with serums, natural oils and vitamins, provides long-lasting hydration. It's infused with glycerin, hyaluronic acid, so those are both great humectants. Helps even your skin tone out and provide the coverage you need to help minimize the appearance of dark circles and blemishes. And then the other one, the Hydrating Under Eye Concealer in a tube, it doesn't really say a whole lot about it. It just says benefits of an eye cream and a concealer all in one. So I got the shade Fair in the tube and Light Medium in the other one. So let's start with the Essentially Ageless one. Let's apply it with my sponge. I probably need to wet this again, but we're just gonna try to do it without wetting it. So blending out effortlessly. The color actually works out really well for me. It's not too light or too dark, which I'm kind of surprised by. I do want to apply just a little bit more right through here. Maybe, let's just do the little thing right there. By the way, it's 6:04 right now. It was a little bit before 6 when I got done applying the foundation, but we'll say around 6 for our check-in time. This is blending out extremely well, like very, very fast. And I would say that's a very like flexible, like thin skin-like kind of coverage. It looks really good actually. So moving over to the Hydrating Under Eye Concealer. So let's apply this one with my fingers. This one does feel a tad bit thicker. I don't want to say sticky because that sounds bad, but it feels like it's not gonna set as well as the other one. Here's what one layer looks like on that side. And considering I am a strong DNA'd hoe when it comes to applying things with my fingers, that's not leaving any kind of fingerprints behind, no transfer marks or anything. Yeah, this side definitely feels more set. So this one feels a bit more sticky. It actually kind of reminds me of the It Cosmetics, what's the Bye Bye Under Eye Concealer, this one right here. I'm not calling it a dupe or anything. I can't say that because I don't have, but the other one here on me, but it kind of feels like what I remember the other one feeling like from It Cosmetics. So I'm going to take a little bit more like I did on the other side and just add a second layer. A little bit does go a lot further with this one. Like it's definitely more viscous. That looks pretty dang good. It's definitely more of like a dewy kind of formula versus this side. And I'm not sure how it's going to set. So I'm going to sit here for a few minutes and see if it sets on its own. I really do think that this one, I think this one's going to be a keeper. Also, this brown felt tip liner is not coming off. So I've got two different bronzers as well because your girl went ham in the Dollar Tree. I got this LA Colors Instantly Radiant Bronzer in the shade Bronze Beauty and the B Color Dessert Bronzer and Blush. Oh my God, this one from LA Colors is so thin. Like this is going to take up little to no space in your collection. Like that is, I actually like that. So there's what the color looks like. So yeah, it is matte and it doesn't look too warm, too orangey or anything. It actually does look like a nice neutral. As far as swatching, it does look kind of powdery. There is a little bit of kick up, but let's see. Oh, it's actually a really pretty shade. Ooh, okay, hopefully it blends out well. Considering I was expecting that to be extremely chalky and talky and dry, I mean, it's kind of heavy. I think I went a little bit too ham sandwich on it, but that's actually a really pretty bronzer. So whenever I go too ham like I did just then, I just go with my foundation tool and just buff around. It's no big deal. Let me try with a different brush just to see if I can make it look more like diffused, not as heavy. Yeah, like it's not sheer by no means, but it's also not like, oh, one dip into it and you got a big patch right there. Like it's just one of those that with the second layer, as you start building it, it looks very, very intense. Apply very light-handedly, just kind of be careful. I'm really impressed by that so far. So hopefully the dessert bronzer, I don't know if they mean desert, but they spelled it dessert. But hopefully this actually does work well as a blush. Oh, look at this. She's cute. She's cheap looking, but she's cute. Very, very dusty. I'm not sure how that's going to translate. So let's put it right here. So luckily I think I can pull this off as a blush, but I do think it's still going to be very monochromatic. It does look like there's a very strong gold shimmer throughout. Like it's not a very, very fine gold shimmer. So I'm afraid that it's going to enhance my pores and texture and all that stuff. So pray for me. Oh, I'm scared of this one. Oh, it's dusty. Oh, she's dusty. The shimmer is very noticeable in here. Like it looks like I've applied a gold highlighter that doesn't match my skin through here. For me, it's just kind of accentuating on my pores. Yeah, this one's not really my cup of tea. Like this is probably the worst one that I've tried so far. You know what? Should I go into a blush? I feel like I need some blush, but that's outside the video. Whatever, I'm doing it. I need a little bit of pizzazz. I'm gonna go into the Essence Pure Nude Baked Blush in the shade Rosy Rosewood. Such a unique name. So I'm going to bounce out my under eyes to make sure there's no creases. Do my little setting spray hack and we'll pop that right up there so you know what I'm talking about. Go check that out and have your mind blown. So next thing I have is this nude eyeliner. So this is the Be Pure Infused Eyebrow Highlighter. It's green tea infused, so that's why it's called an infused eyebrow highlighter. So it's just a wooden pencil like this. So let's see how it swatches. It's actually fairly pigmented. It's not too dry or anything, and it has like a pinky undertone to it, so where I feel like it's gonna be very brightening. So let's put it on my waterline. Ooh, right out the gate, it's actually not that dry. Like usually wooden pencils do not glide on like that. This is showing up very, very well with very little effort. Look at that. So it also says to put it on your brow bone. So let's try that too, because I could definitely do some brightness up there. Ooh, why do I like that so much? So it blends out really well on my brow bone, so that's a good sign. Look at that. Look at the brightness in there. Bam! Let's go back to some powder, some face powder now. So this is the Be Pure Infused Pressed Face Powder. So it says it's green tea infused. It provides a smooth matte finish, sets makeup, and controls shine. So yeah, it just looks like a white, but probably transparent kind of powder, kind of like the NYX HD one or the Makeup Forever one. So there's what it looks like when you swatch it. It feels surprisingly smooth. Hopefully there's no like white cast or ashiness or anything, but ooh, that feels really good actually. So normally I apply powder with a powder puff like this, but I'm kind of worried that this kind of formula where it may look too white, may look white if I use a powder puff. Let's just go into a brush. I'm just gonna load up my brush, tap it off, and start in my T-zone. Okay, so there is the powder side. So it definitely did cut the shine, but it's not filling my pores or anything. Like from side to side, my pores look the exact same, which I was kind of hoping that this would fill them in, especially because it's mattifying and erasing the shine. Actually, I kind of do, just out of curiosity, want to try it with the powder puff because this is always a method that will blur your skin. So let's just go straight into my T-zone first. Okay. Yeah, my pores are gone now. Oh man, I really doubted the powder puff with this. It completely blurred over my pores on this side. Here's what it looks like up close. So yeah, putting that over my T-zone where I have large pores, that did a number on this. For lips, I don't have a lip liner, but I do have a lipstick. So this is the Essentially Ageless Hydrating Lipstick infused with serum. And again, it's paraben free, phthalate free. It has vitamin B5, and it just keeps saying serum infused. What does that mean? I got the shade Blush Rose. It's kind of like a pinky coral, like a lighter pinky coral. So I use, ooh, okay, very, very glossy. They're like, this isn't my typical shade that I go for because it just not for me. But the formula itself, it's very dewy. What dewy? So let me put on a lip liner of my own and I'll be right back. I'm just gonna do my trusty ColourPop lip liner. We're gonna do little one. Ooh, this is not my shade. Okay, it feels a bit dry when you're applying it. Like it swatches really well though. Like I'm kind of surprised because it swatches so opaque and just so smooth and creamy and glossy, but on the lips, it feels a bit dry. And where's my lip line? I mean, it is not there anymore. And also it has a really cheap kind of taste to it, like that old school, like 40s kind of lipstick. So not that I was in the 40s, so I don't know if that's actually what they felt like or tasted like. I'm gonna take this off just to kind of give the entire look some justice. So I'll be right back. I'm gonna put something else on. So I'm gonna use the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in the shade Hoopty and the Flower Beauty Plump Up Gloss Stick in the shade Spicy. So I do want to use this setting spray, and again, I don't have a setting spray from Dollar Tree just because they didn't have one. So I'm just gonna go into the Milani Make It Last setting spray. This is one that always works for me, so if a foundation or makeup doesn't last with this, it ain't gonna wear well. But right now, everything looks like on my face looks beautiful. I mean, with the exception of that cupcake smelling blush, this is not my favorite at all. It actually looks pretty good when I put the Essence blush on top. So my face looks smooth, I look poreless, I look very blurred, dewy but also matte in the right places, and I've got the coverage I'm looking for. So I'm actually pretty happy right now. Okay guys, we need to talk. So it is now 12:34 in the morning, so we just passed the 6.5 hour mark. Our check-in time was 6 o'clock. So we're gonna do what we normally do and do a final roundup. I will say I did find a lipstick that I forgot to include in today's video. I bought this yesterday and I was like, wait a minute, I can put that in there in case the other one doesn't work out, which it didn't. So this is the Be Pure Hydrating Lipstick infused with rose oil. And I have no idea what this shade is because it is nowhere to be found. Let's apply it and we'll just see how it looks and how it wears as I'm talking. Very, very sheer. It's not overly opaque kind of formula. Here's what it looks like with just like one swatch. And then here is, you know, kind of more heavily applied. So this lipstick is very, very, very sheer. Like it's not building up at all. It's pretty much a Your Lips but better. Maybe like a Your Lips but slightly chapped kind of color, but we'll leave it on. The LA Color 6-pan eyeshadow. Considering this is $1.25, I really have no big issues with this. I mean, it blended out extremely well. Fairly pigmented, especially for it to be as cheap as it is. If you like this color story, it ain't bad. The LA Colors Eye Marker Felt Tip Pen. In longevity, I mean, I have no problems with this whatsoever. I have no puddling. Well, I have a little bit, but that may be from the mascara too. Yeah, no transfer onto my eyelid, which sometimes happens with eyeliners. I mean, it held up really well, so pretty good if you like this kind of product. Eyebrow pencil, I'm not a big fan of this LA Colors one. It was just really dry. I would say this is a pass for me. Kind of the same thing with the LA Colors mascara. It's just a very, very dry formula, so maybe now that I've put the contact solution in there, it's gonna make it work better in the future, but I just don't like to have to apply 3 different layers, if not more, to get any kind of big effect. There's a little bit of flaking, but I've seen worse, okay? I've seen worse, but for me, it's kind of a pass too. The foundation. what is this and why is it so freaking good? It is sitting phenomenally on my pores. Like I don't have any sinkage, I don't have any settling, I don't have any redness peeking through on my T-zone, which, you know, tends to happen on my nose and my chin. It is just that really pretty, you know, not too overboard, glowy, radiant, healthy sheen. I don't have any sinking into fine lines. It doesn't look dry, cakey, or thick, or heavy, or makeupy, or anything anywhere. Like it really does look like a high-end, expensive foundation, or at least a really good one at the drugstore. So you will 100% be seeing this in the future. Like I'm excited about this. The Nude eyeliner, I'm pretty surprised by this too, because I didn't expect this to last but maybe an hour. It held up until maybe like, I would say about 2 hours ago or so. Like it's held up very, very well. You know what, even now I can still see it just a little bit on like the lower part of my water lines. I actually really like this. Concealers, so they both held up extremely well. My under eyes look so smooth. I don't have any crepiness. I don't have any creasing. I don't have any like settling or, you know, anything that I typically go against when it comes to concealers. Like it looks beautiful on both sides. They both look creamy and just milky and very, very smoothing under my eyes. So in terms of wear, I don't really have any issues. The tube one, if you have really, really dry under eyes or if you have more mature skin, I think this one would probably be the one that you might like better. I do think I prefer the wand concealer more, the Essentially Ageless one, just because I feel like it went on better. It blended out a little bit faster, just kind of like melted in and sank into my skin a little bit faster than the other one. Also, it just has more of like that natural skin-like kind of finish to where it wasn't as dewy or thick. The LA Colors Matte Bronzer, can we talk about how this is still on my skin right now and it's still going strong? Color of this is so realistic and natural. Like it's not too orange, it's not too warm. I think you guys know my thoughts on the Dessert Blush Bronzer. Like it's a no for me. And then the powder. This powder is good. It made my skin look super blurry and soft focus and very photoshopped, and it cut down the shine, but not in like an overly drying, too matte kind of way. The lipstick that I used earlier, the black tube one, the color is a no for me, dog. I can't really review this because the color sucks so bad. So yeah, and then this one, I just think it's a little bit too sheer. Let me take my chapstick off. Let's reapply this. And I'm gonna take my foundation brush to just kind of cancel out my lips a little bit. So now let's see what it does. Yeah, it's kind of like a tinted lip balm. So, I mean, it doesn't feel bad. It feels kind of hydrating and kind of, you know, kind of chapsticky, you know, kind of lip balmy, but I need more. I deserve more. So I am pleasantly surprised. So if you guys have tried anything, especially after this video, please come back to the comment section and let me know what you've tried, how it's worked out for you, what your skin type is, and all that. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure you give it a big old thumbs up if you want to see more like it. And here's a couple more things for you to check out next. So just venture around the channel, make yourself at home, subscribe if you're not already, and turn the notification on to always see my stuff, and I will see you guys in the next one. Mwah.